Hi, learners. Good day. All right, learners. Today we want to look at a very interesting topic. And before we start, I would like us to consider this picture. Learners, what can you see over here? Let's look at this picture over here. This image over here, we could see that it's a very big machine. This is just like what we have in our pockets as mobile phones. Learners, who among you today has checked on his or her WhatsApp account or sent any TikTok message or videos? So today we are looking at this big machine over here. In the olden days, it used to be a very big uh, machine that occupies a whole room. A librarian operates this machine, and when this machine wants to print or load an image, you can take this machine like 3 days before it will be able to load one single image. But today, what do we see? We are able to send messages and receive messages within 2 seconds. In the olden days, when um, our elders want to send messages to their relatives at other cities, they have to do what? Write letters, which could take like 2 weeks before they get the feedback. But today, we are able to do what? Send and receive messages, all because of what? Development of the internet. So today, we want to look at the internet, the evolution of the internet. So learners, by the able to do what? Describe the evolution of the internet appropriately to identify and explain three internet service providers with their functions, and you should be able also to demonstrate understanding of how internet service provider enable internet access in the society with the aid of network architecture diagram. Learners, for today we'll be concentrating on what? The evolution of the internet. So listen very carefully and to enjoy the lesson. So we are starting right away. So before we go deeper to look at the main structure of the evolution of the internet, we want to look at what internet is. So internet is a global system of interconnected computer networks that allow computers, phones, and other devices all over the world to communicate and share information with each other. So you just think of it like a huge road network. Just as roads connect towns and cities to people and goods, so people and goods can move. It's the same way the internet connects millions of computers. So data, messages, pictures and videos can what also move from one place to another. That is why you can sit in your room and send message to somebody in Japan, and then within 2 seconds it reaches there. So when we are talking about the internet and how it grows, then we are referring to what? The evolution of the internet. Now you want to look at the evolution of the internet, how the internet what came about, how it began small and how it grew. So we are going to use the timeline diagram to do what? To explain it. So when we look at the timeline diagram, we have the ARPANET. This was the beginning where the US Department of Defense created the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. So it was the first network to use packet switching, a method of breaking data into what? Small packets to send them. It connected a few universities in the USA for research and what? Military purposes. So that was somewhere in the year 1969 where the first technology or internet came about, the ARPANET. Then moving on, we came across the transmission control protocol, internet protocol, which was adopted as the standard communication rule. This was made possible for separate networks to connect globally. This is when the term internet truly started. So this was done so that different networks could talk to each other. They needed a common language so that they can understand themselves. So in 1983, the transmission control protocol emerged. So the internet kept growing, and then in the year somewhere 1991, there was a man called Tim Berners-Lee, a British scientist who invented the WWW that we call today the World Wide Web. This made the internet so easy to use for ordinary people. He introduced the website, the browsers, and then hyperlinks. So the ability to click and move from one page to the other came into being. This is not the same as the internet itself, but a service on the internet. So moving on, the internet kept growing. Like we said, the internet was growing just like a child is giving birth to and it grows throughout the ages. So in the year 2000 down, the broadband expansion technology came. So before this, internet was very slow. We used a dial-up system. In the 2000s, the broadband, which was faster and then always on the internet, became common and affordable in homes and schools. So this allowed people to watch videos, download large files, and then use e-learning. Today, the internet we use now is very advanced. The internet we use today very advanced and modern. It includes cloud computing, social media, Internet of Things, 5G networks, cloud computing where we have storing of files and program online, social media. Today we have WhatsApp platforms, we have Facebook, we have TikTok, Internet of Things, we have wearable glasses, smart watches, smart homes, smart cars, making life so easy. Then we also have the 5G, the fifth generation of mobile networks, giving super fast internet on phones. So the diagram explain it better. The timeline diagram of the internet evolution explain it better. Where the evolution of the internet, as shown in the timeline diagram, started in 1969 with ARPANET, which was the first network that connected computers. In the 1983, the Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol, was adopted as the standard protocol or common language that allowed different networks to do to connect globally. And then in the 1991, the www was introduced, which made web browsing possible through websites and hyperlinks. Now, in the year 2000 down, the broadband boom brought high-speed internet into homes and schools, making access faster and more common. Today, we have the modern internet, which include advanced technologies like the cloud computing, the 5G networks, and the Internet of Things. So learners, today we have spoken about what the internet is. We have seen what internet evolution also is. We have seen how the internet started small and grew up throughout the five stages by explaining using the timeline diagram. So learners, as where we have gotten to, I want you to do this assignment for me. Define the internet. Describe briefly the evolution of the internet using the timeline diagram. Learners, we shall meet next time to continue. Stay safe. Bye.